Alan, welcome. A pretty significant time, we should say. What are the long-lasting implications of this conflict as it relates to Europe's dependence on Russian energy supplies?
Yeah, well, thank you for the question. And, the U.S. is incredibly well positioned, and our industry is well positioned today, thanks to a lot of great technology, a lot of great effort on our independent gas producers here in the U.S. At Williams, we handle about 30% of the nation's natural gas through our infrastructure. And infrastructure is really going to be key, as we're seeing in the crisis that's developing in the Ukraine. And so, but I would just point out that we have an abundance of natural gas here in the U.S. We are very good at getting it out of the ground in a safe, environmentally friendly way. And really our big challenge today in the U.S. is infrastructure and getting our gas supplies to the coast and taking advantage of the abundant low-cost energy and clean energy that we have here in the U.S. And so really, I think there's a lot we can do, but it's really going to boil down to getting our federal regulatory permitting processes in order and really being able to quickly build out our infrastructure.
Yeah, and to highlight what the U.S. has accomplished here, I think if Dan Yergin, if I'm remembering his comments correctly, we are now again the #1 producer of oil. We are the #1, I think, exporter. Now we're up there in terms of LNG. I mean, it's incredible what we're talking about. So the president is obviously looking for ways to keep energy prices low for Americans domestically. What would you say is the best way of achieving that?
Yeah, I really do believe that encouraging the development. I think our producers here in the U.S. are very capable of responding to the opportunity. But you will hear time and time again from our producers here in the U.S. that infrastructure is always kind of the missing link. And so we can talk about drilling permits, we can talk about number of rigs, but at the end of the day, if we don't have the pipelines and the infrastructure to get to those markets, the producers are not going to drill, because even though the price may be high somewhere else, the price back in the basin where they're producing is not adequate to incent drilling. And so it really is a matter of getting this infrastructure bottlenecks out of our way.
How much could the U.S. production of natural gas help Europe if, in the worst of all possible outcomes, all of Russia's natural gas were halted from coming into Europe? Could we supply a third of what they need, a fifth of what they need, or is our natural gas already ticketed under contract to other places? Do we not have the ports to ship it out? What?
Yeah. So today, we have commercial arrangements through the LNG facilities, and the highest price a lot of times gets those, or the party that holds that capacity has it for their own country. So we absolutely need to build incremental capacity. We are today the largest LNG exporter as the U.S., but we've got an opportunity to rapidly expand that. But today we export right around 12 BCF a day, which is roughly about 12% of our combined U.S. and Canadian import to the U.S. So about 95 BCF a day of U.S. production and about 5 BCF a day of Canadian. And about 12 of that today is going out by LNG export. So we could easily double that capacity, and we certainly have plenty of gas supplies to be able to help meet that. And so just to put that in perspective, I think the Nord Stream 2 project is about a 4.5 BCF a day pipeline. So we have very ample supplies and capabilities here in the U.S., but we absolutely have got to clear some major permitting hurdles to get on and build out that infrastructure that it is not destined for Europe today. It's not contracted uniquely to Europe.
And when we say infrastructure, we're talking about pipelines and export facilities, ports, right?
That's correct.